Perks have been in every Call of Duty since COD 4, and COD Mobile continues this trend. With 36 perks to choose from, some are bound to be more effective than others. I'll be ranking every perk in the game, but I'll also be dividing them into a tier list to make it a little bit more interesting. I genuinely enjoy doing these tier lists, but if you guys want to see actual gameplay videos, let me know and I can make it happen. Starting in F tier, we have the perks that you should basically never use, as their use is minimal to non-existent. At the bottom of F tier, we have number 36, Iron Lungs. This makes your scope stay steady for longer, which can be helpful if you're hard scoping, but is rarely ever needed. 35, Unit Support. This blue perk slows your operator skill charge speed by 60%, but you'll gain 20% for every kill your teammates get. This forces you to rely on your teammates and is basically an inferior version to Overclock. Number 34, Tracker. Enemy players will now leave glowing footsteps behind them, allowing you to track where they went. This is slightly helpful in SND, but usually Game Sense and Hearing do the same thing but better. 33. Agile. This reduces sprint to fire time by about 12%. 90% of the time, this is not even noticeable except when you're using LMGs and a few of the snipers, and even then, many other perks will still suit you better. 32. Recon. Whenever you get a kill on an enemy, it marks other enemies on the minimap within a 10-meter radius. This is almost never helpful, and I can't justify it. Number 31, this isn't here because it's bad. It's here because persistence is, and always will be, one of the most toxic perks in the game. This perk allows you to keep the progress toward your score streaks even after you die. Meaning if you had 100 points toward a UAV, you would still have the 100 after you die and respawn. In return, it increases the cost of your score streaks by 80%, and you can only get them once per game. Moving on to D tier, this is for the perks that have a use if you squint hard enough. They fit their niche, but usually any other perk will work better. 30, Spycraft. I have rarely seen this in all the rank matches I played. This allows you to hack a select few items, allowing you to control them. The problem is that the hacking process takes a bit of time, and more often than not, you get killed while trying to do it. 29, Engineer. This allows you to see enemy score streaks and equipment through walls, but this perk is only good if you're a fan of care packages. But then again, why are you a fan of care packages? 28, Skulker. The only reason this is not an F tier is because of SND. This increases your walking and crouching speed by 12%. This is helpful when trying to stay silent in SND or when strafing, but attachments can do the same thing if you build your gunsmith right. I'm going to group number 27 and 26 together, Shrapnel and Tactician. Guess what? Instead of one grenade or tactical, you can have two. Because I'm an NA45 main, it pains me to put Demo Expert at number 25. This increases the explosion damage of all your weapons and equipment by 35%. If there were other explosive primaries, this could be way higher, but as of right now, all it's good for is giving me an excuse to talk about the NA45. Moving on to C tier. This is for the perks that have good concepts but bad execution. With a little tweaking, they could be in B tier, but alas, C tier is where they reside. You're going to see a lot of green perks in this tier. Number 24, Amped. This allows you to swap your weapons and reload rocket launchers way faster. This is only helpful for sweats in 1v1 lobbies who like swapping between a karambit and a sniper really quickly, or trick shotters, but I could see someone using it with LMGs. However, its use is very niche, so that is why it places this low. Number 23, Hardwired. Become immune to trip mines, trip sensors, EMPs, as well as counter UAVs. Once again, SND saves this from being lower, as you can run around with this perk while not worrying about trip mines and trip sensors. Oh, also enemy tracker perks are reduced, whatever that means. 22, Gung Ho. You can shoot, reload, and throw grenades while sprinting. This can be very good for mobility, and one could argue it could go higher. I personally never see anyone using it, but I could definitely justify a shotgun player having it on a loadout. B tier. These perks are always solid choices, and they always have a use. You can tell the difference between having them and not having them, however, they still get beaten by the perks in A tier. Number 21 and 20 I'm grouping together, Alert and High Alert. I compared these two perks to a form of spider sense. They give you a split second of heads up and reaction time, and High Alert allows you to mark enemies by aiming down your sights. I think these two perks could be combined into one, calling Combat Awareness, where it gives you the benefit of both perks. Number 19, fast recover. Usually after taking damage, you will start regenerating your health after 5 seconds. This perk reduces the time down to 3.1 seconds. This perk is severely underrated, being a starting perk, and the only reason it isn't an A tier is because one perk does the same thing slightly better. Number 18, Tactical Mask. This reduces the duration of any enemy tactical equipment by 60%. This is another perk that is underrated, but again, it gets overshadowed by another perk that does the same thing slightly better. Number 17, you'd be surprised to see it in B tier, Overclock. This reduces the base time it takes to get your operator skill by 15%. This doesn't include kills, just the base time. It usually equals to 1 extra use per game. I find it really useful with things like the TAC 5 or the Transform Shield, and every now and then the Claw. Number 16, Firepower Support. This gives you 2 extra rocket launcher ammo, as well as a 60% chance to steal someone's score streak if shot with a launcher. Also, there's a fun thing you can do with Amped, this perk, and the Thumper. Number 15, Pinpoint. If you deal or take damage, the enemy will be outlined in red. This does not work through walls, but it gives increased aim assist and is one of the best choices for newer players. Number 14, Ghost. This keeps you off UAVs and heartbeat sensors, as well as reducing the effect of advanced UAVs. This is great for stealthy players in any mode, however, there are a few other green perks that are better than it. I believe number 13 is a fair spot to put the unreleased Serpentine perk. This reduces received damage by 10% only while sprinting. While I haven't used or faced it, 10% can mean an extra shot to kill. For guns with a slower time to kill, such as the Odin, Manowar, and DRH, this can definitely reduce their effectiveness. The final B tier perk is Vulture. Its recent buff allows you to get more ammo, as well as heal 60 damage whenever you pick up an ammo pack. This 60 HP bonus is really what boosts this perk so high. Now we're into A tier. These perks are the best in the game and are used the most when it comes to ranked. You really can't go wrong when using them. 11. Hardline. This lets you get score streaks 25% faster, giving you 25% extra score per kill. It is always good to have, even though it does not increase your actual survivability. Number 10. Remember how I said that Persistence was one of the most toxic perks? Well, Martyrdom is the number 1 most toxic perk. While I will never promote it, it is good at getting a cheap kill in hardpoint and domination. Number 9, Lightweight. This increases your movement speed by 5%, allowing for more mobility, allowing you to get across the map faster, and basically combines all of the movement speed perks. Number 8, Toughness. This reduces flinch by 60%, which is very significant, especially when using weapons that demand a higher accuracy, where you do not want your aim to be thrown off. 7, Restock. Personally, I use this on 90% of my classes, allowing me to get a new grenade and trophy system every 20 seconds. This perk single-handedly makes Shrapnel, Tactician, and Munitions box basically worthless. 6, Cold-Blooded. Are you tired of dying to stealth choppers, hunter killers, and sentry guns? Well, Cold-Blooded was made for you, making AI-controlled score streaks not be able to target you. This is amazing for all situations and is incredibly useful when paired with firepower support. Moving on to our final tier, the S tier. The top 5 in the game where they are useful in every mode and will probably be on most of the loadouts you encounter. Number 5, Dead Silence. This is the number 1 perk for SND, making your walking and crouching footsteps completely silent, while also reducing the range enemies can hear you move around. It makes the top 5 for SND alone, but there is one other blue perk that is more effective than the other modes. Numbers 4 and 3, Flak Jacket and Dauntless. These are both interchangeable. You can use either one depending on your preference. Flak Jacket reduces explosion damage and burning damage, while Dauntless reduces burn damage and also makes you immune to any movement impairments, such as disable, concussion grenades, and cryo bombs. Both are excellent for objective-based modes, but I'll give Dauntless a slight edge over Flak Jacket just because slowdowns are a lot more common in SND. But again, these are the top 5 and they are amazing for all modes. Number 2, Survival Training. This is the best blue perk, hands down. This will allow you to completely ignore one enemy tactical. Not the trophy system, of course. The delay between uses is 20 seconds, but you have no idea how bad it throws off opponents since it allows you to stay ready and engaged in combat. Number 1, Quick fix. This is the ultimate green perk for almost every situation. If you get a kill, you will immediately start regenerating your health, allowing you to be ready for your next fight sooner. There is almost no reason not to run this perk in core game modes, as it is essential to boosting your survivability. But what do you think? Did I forget that Agile makes you scope in 1.4% faster? Tell me in the comments. If you've made it this far, you are legally required to subscribe and join Atlas Factory. Atlas Factory is a Discord server built around the COD mobile community. We are looking for competitive players right now, but we would also love for more people to just hang out and have fun. Thanks, and I will see you guys later.